The Toronto Vintage Show takes place April 5th and 6th this weekend at the Queen Elizabeth Building, and you don't want to miss it. And so we have Erica Peck here. She is with Wild Thing Vintage, a longtime vendor and expert in vintage shopping. That's what I say. Good morning.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, I've been a long fan of vintage clothing shopping. I've been doing it since high school, and I'm so glad that people are still looking for those rare pieces.
Absolutely. It's an amazing way to be original, to buy things of quality, to buy things that are made in Canada.
Yes,
and, you know, to just really make a statement of who you are.
Okay, so let's go through some of the things. There's a hit show called White Lotus. Everybody loves it. And so some of these pieces are kind of inspired by that?
Yeah, big finale this weekend.
Yes.
So a lot of people are really into this sort of vacation fantasy. And so we've got a lot of pieces that are really inspired, you know, like peacock feathers, a lot of beachy kind of gauzy pieces.
Yes.
An amazing thing about vintage is that depending on the era, there can actually be a really wide range of fits. A misconception is that all vintage is very small.
Right.
There are certain eras where that happens, but you have something like this, which is actually Linda Lundstrom, made in Canada.
Yes.
And it's, you know, it's drapey, it's comfortable, it looks fantastic, and it looks modern.
Yes. That will look so beautiful with a pair of sandals, a straw hat, and you're just like strolling along the beach.
This is the thing, and then because we're in Canada and the weather happens to be a little mercurial, I'm not sure if you're aware, but you can do something like layering it with like a nice big thick sweater and a boot, and then really quickly slip on some Birkenstocks and a straw hat, and you've got pieces that transition really well.
See, I knew you and I were soul sisters when you said Birkenstock. That's what I wear all the time in the summer. So yes, thank you.
It's important to be realistic. You know, a lot of people think vintage has to be costumey, but that's actually not the case.
Now let's talk about Canadian designers.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have, you know, some better known ones, like for instance, Linda Lundstrom.
Yeah.
We also have lesser known.
Sorry.
We also have lesser known. We also have lesser known designers like Norma Canada.
Oh, okay.
Which was an amazing textile artist. And we have people like Joy and Alan Cherry. Thank you. I'll hold that for you.
Thank you.
We have people like Joy and Alan Cherry who made incredible statement pieces through the 80s and 90s, and were carried at places like Holt Renfrew. So you can dress really high end at a actually, honestly, fairly affordable cost.
Oh my gosh. And you mentioned one Canadian designer that you also have here, Wayne Clark.
Yeah.
So fun story.
Please share, yes.
My wedding dress is from Wayne Clark, and this is so Wayne Clark. Wow.
And you have this incredible bottom on it that sort of has like a mermaid hem. It really flares, and so when you're dancing and moving, it's just an absolute showstopper.
It is gorgeous and timeless.
These
things never go out of style.
I have an amazing Quebecois textile artist from the 1970s, Martine Grubert, and her stuff is, like Norma, it's instantly recognizable. You know, the other thing I want to highlight is that you can buy some really high-end, beautiful designer vintage pieces at a fraction of what you're going to see them priced new. And what often happens with vintage sellers is we will sell pieces back to the designers, and they'll repurpose them, reuse those designs. So what is old is new again.
Yes. I love that. I love that. And then we've got some spectacular pieces here
Always,
as well.
yeah. And I do want to say, if you're looking for that perfect jean jacket or pair of leather boots, denim, all of that is available at the show. For the purposes of today and television, I brought you sequins because that's what I love too. But things like this gold leather, incredible jacket. You know, if you're looking for like a 20s inspired event, but something that's maybe a little more wearable than a lot of 100-year-old dresses. And a little more affordable too. And then things to toss over at the pool. And then, you know, you can go right up to classic rock band T-shirts.
They were just here performing in the GTA. That's so fantastic that you have that T-shirt.
You know, and I've got some tips for the show if you'd like to hear them. Wear layers so you can try things on easily and quickly. Bring cash, because if you want to do a little deal, it's always a lot easier when you've got a little cash in hand for the vintage vendors who are there. Tons of leopard print, because I am Wild Thing Vintage.
Yeah. Well, and leopard print's in right now.
That's right.
That's the thing with fashion. It always comes back. So a lot of these pieces are right in style right now and on trend.
Absolutely. Metallics, sequins, leopard prints, and of course, Pantone's color of the year.
Yes.
Mocha Mousse.
Yeah, so let's talk about that, because we're seeing this kind of color everywhere right now.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I've got this like Max Mara sort of puffy. Who would have thought the puffy vest would be back? But I'm here to tell you, like it or not, it's happening, folks.
And come on, it's Max Mara. Like, that's usually a very expensive brand, right?
Absolutely. And then you can do something like this really gorgeous fringe suede. Anything brown suede right now is just so popular.
And I love the fact that there's about 130 small businesses that are going to be represented at the show.
And we're all friends, honestly. Everybody's so passionate and excited about fashion and style.
Yes.
So even if you think you're not a vintage person, it's so worth it to come and be inspired by the truly like the artists, not only who are selling, but who are shopping.
Yes.
Because everyone has this common ground of being passionate about something. So it's kind of like it's got a Taylor Swift concert vibe, you know? Like everybody's just so happy to get to know each other and to talk.
Yeah.
So it's at the Queen Elizabeth Building this weekend, Exhibition Place.
Yes.
You can go to torontovintageshow.ca to get a little discount on your entry fee.
Oh, there you go.
And you can always follow Wild Thing Vintage, and I'll post all the details to my account as well.
Oh, Erica, thank you so much. I've got to try on this one jacket.
Please do.
You saw my reaction when I saw this.
That's
this is
part of the fun. Put anything on, play around.
This is probably my favorite piece. I love this so much, and that is fabulous too.
Also made in Canada.
Thank you, Erica. Have fun this weekend.
Thanks so much for having me.